Jerry boy, sticking it out last night certainly broke its back, even if we did cut down on the drinking time.
Oh, it is all for the firm, so to speak.
You're dead right there. Now, everything bad in accidents and the big bomb going off will be all right. Now, what have we got left here? Blocked drain pipe, spliced window frame, old Ma Tyler's yard gate, and Mrs.
Cordingley's overflow.
Yeah. Aye. Oh, it's not fair, is it, mate? You can't win in this business, I'm not kidding you. And if that's Mrs. Thing on the phone, I'm going to shoot myself, I'm not kidding you. But we won't have to decide who's doing it, then you do it.
Aye, I'll do it any road. Save arguing.
Do you get it?
Oh, hello there, mate. Did I get what?
Me present.
Oh, present? What present's this, then?
I left it special.
Oh, well, that was nice of you, Alan. Well, I mean, it's got covered up with something. Where did you put it?
Oh, and here.
Huh? Well, it can't have gone far then, can it? I mean, not unless it were a three-stage moon probe, you mate.
I made it myself. I'm not that clever. It's a toast rack.
All right then, Mr. Fairclough. Look, Alan, don't you think you'd better get off to school? I wouldn't like you to be late, you know.
Yeah, OK.
Right, I'll have a good look for it after and all.
I did it all how you said, you know.
Look, now, don't you worry. I'm looking forward to seeing what you've made of it. Right, all right, Mr. Fairclough. Look, I don't want to shove you off, mate, but we are a bit busy, as you can see.
Can I come back tonight, then?
Of course you can, and I've better found it then and all. No. All right.
Hey, you know what?
What?
My gran gave me this for fireworks.
You're a lucky lad, aren't you? Now, go on, put it in your pocket and get off to school.
Yakety, yak. I'm not kidding you. That woman's going to... Was that a customer you had in, then?
No, it was nothing.
Same with that. She's driving me down the chute, that... What is that?
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Fairclough. It looks like a toast rack to me.
No, it's a flipping toast rack. What are you playing at? We're supposed to be jobbing labourers, you and me. Not making knick-knacks for Christmas.
Well, I don't know anything about it, Mr. Fairclough.
Well, it was on there. You don't suggest it grew from...
I don't suggest anything of the sort, but I mean, be fair. Anybody could have left it.
Well, it's not my birthday.
Well, no, it's not mine neither.
Well, that it's meant for the bonfire, then, eh? It's not a very good contribution, but at least it's like they say, out'll do.
Oh, you're ready early?
Well, need to be. It's getting late. Some of them kids will be there already.
Phew, they must be keen. I seem to remember me and our kid were never got within spitting distance till old Miss Thing was blowing her whistle.
Well, it's the mums. You know, they give them a tenner for gobstoppers and then off they go to work.
No breakfast?
No.
I can't imagine any gobstoppers in this world coming up to a nice piece of bacon.
No, to me neither.
I'm on the scrap. Does anybody got a shilling for the gas? Because if you haven't, my husband's going to go to work on marmalade, butties and cold water.
No gobstoppers?
Eh?
Oh, well, it's no good looking at me. I'm skint till I get my pension. He's the chap for lashing it out.
Oh, didn't he like it then?
Well, it's hard to say, really.
What are you two on about?
Oh, come on, you know perfectly well. I'm surprised he didn't put it on this morning. It'll be Parky standing around on that crossing.
And, who says I didn't? Nice bit of cloth, that, you know. There's no mixture there.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, that's that, then.
You don't by any chance know what I'm supposed to be doing, do you?
No? Is it essential you should know right away?
Well, I feel sort of spur hanging about, like.
You're so anxious to make a good impression, then?
Well, it's my first job. My first proper one, like, and everyone wants to get on, don't they?
You can include me out.
Eh? Why?
Why should I get on? What for?
Oh, more money and that.
I have enough of my needs.
Well, you could save it for later.
Perhaps you think I should get myself a tombstone.
Cheerful.
No, love, all I'm trying to say is it isn't important now or later.
Well, what is important then if your job's not?
I don't think you'd understand.
Try me.
You're still full of what they told you at school.
Oh, and I suppose you know different.
You'd have to unfetter your mind from some of those hag-ridden cliches.
They weren't out, and what's more, they talked a lot better sense than you do.
Quote, always be first, or if you can't be first, at least stick with the crowd.
Anyone can sneer.
I'm not sneering.
Well, what's so right about you, anyway?
It's simply a question of self-awareness.
Well,
Hello, girls.
so you've met him? Yeah.
Didn't think much of him from all accounts.
I can't make him out.
You're not the only one.
Takes all sorts to make a world.
Yeah, and Kenny Stevens is about as far out as you can get.
Morning, everybody.
Morning,
Mr. Harrison.
Oh, you're all right, Mr. Harrison. He's in this morning.
Oh, that's very generous of him.
Do you know what I'm supposed to be doing today?
No.
I think I'll put Lucille under your wing today. Just show her the ropes, you know, keep her occupied. You know the sort of thing.
Yes, Mr. Harrison. I want you to wind a few more leaves for me today. Yeah.
Been ill, Stevens?
No?
Oh, grandmother died, perhaps.
No.
What happened yesterday, then?
I stayed in bed.
How very nice for you.
That's what I felt like.
Yes, well, unfortunately, you're not paid for staying in bed. There's an urgent report required. Dies for that overseas curtaining order. You know, if upstairs gets to know that you've been holding up production, you'll only have yourself to blame for the consequences.
Well, that report is now on your desk. It couldn't have been completed till this morning. The light fastness test wasn't finished.
I keep telling you, Mr. Tatlock, they're only if you buy the soap powder.
But I don't want no soap powder. I've got enough soap powder to last till Christmas. All through that competition I didn't win.
I know, but that's the point, you see. You have to force yourself.
Hey, what about this little red one? It's got squashed.
I'm sorry, but no soap powder, no flour.
Well, that's a nice carry on any road. I may not be your best customer, but I do come in regular.
Just a minute, Mr. Tatlock. There we are, then. Compliments to the management.
Mr. Petty, you know that there's only one flour to each packet, don't you?
That's all right. That Mrs. Dobson didn't want hers. Now you look in the executive class.
So you've noticed that, have you?
Noticed what?
David, I reckon there's some folks in this shop want testing for spectacles.
Packet of chewing gum, please. Look, what have we done to him?
Well, we won't let on that we'd noticed his new coat.
Aw.
You've done a good job there, though, David. You know, he's just a little mint balls.
Well, I've got Mr. Petty to thank for getting the size right.
Oh, that's all right, David, lad. Any time. It becomes a habit, you know. You know, if a strange bloke was to walk through that door now, I bet I could get every measurement right, even to his hat size.
Right, you're on. What's his hat size?
6 and 7/8.
Well, Mr. Walker?
I don't know. It's not so often I buy a hat.
Oh, null and void, I'm afraid. Oh, well, see you, gorgeous.
I grow lovelier every day.
Here you are, Mr. Petty.
Mrs. Walker not so well, then?
No, she's off in her new hat to preside over coffee morning of the Lady Victuallers.
Ah, well, it keeps him happy, don't it?
Oh, even if it leaves us the donkey in.
I'm sorry, we've only got a small tin of tuna fish while weekend.
Oh, well, pop it in. It'll happen do.
Right, cooking oil. Get us another bottle of cooking oil at the back, will you?
Yes?
Now, let's see. Grapefruit. Slimming biscuits. I never ordered slimming biscuits. Oh, that'll be how Sandra's doing. She rather fancies this fashion parade, you know. I told her if you take off much more weight, you will have to be careful when you step over a grating. Let's see, where were we? Grapefruit, yes. I suppose Lucille's practicing deportment and all.
Well, right now, she's on with this new job.
Oh, how's she doing?
Oh, all right. You know, I never knew a few exam results made all that difference. Do you know she's getting on near £8 a week to start with?
Get away. How old is she?
16.
It's all right, isn't it?
Oh, bit different to what I got when I was that age.
Aye, just about what Lucille plays in insurance, and you had to take the packet home unopened.
Oh, and only 6pence for spends.
Aye, that is if you were in work, and that wasn't so often.
Smart boy wanted. Hey, I've been a few of them in my time, cutting rind off bacon, peddling heavy push bike for miles with one small loaf in it, and then take it back, it's done too well. And there was no arguing or answering back, you know. Do you know, I remember one place I got the sack because I was 16. Lads straight from school were cheaper.
Aye. Wasn't exactly a bed of roses down pit, neither.
I never knew you were in mines.
I went long. I joined up as soon as I could. Just 18, brand new uniform, 4 bob a day. I thought I were king. Mind you, it nearly broke me poor mam's heart.
4 bob a day weren't to be sniffed at.
No. And all found, don't forget.
Do I blow my bugle now, Ollie?
Now, you needn't skit, young woman. Our money was really hard-earned in those days.
Oh, every penny of it.
Yes. They earn that much nowadays. They don't know what to do with it.
Right. And if you was young now, what would you do with your money?
Well,
I don't mean if you was yourself, like, but if you was Lucille.
Well, I'm not Lucille, am I?
I know, but I'm just supposing.
Well, it's impossible to answer. I mean...
I know, because you don't know, do you? I've got it.
Oh, let's have a look. Oh, do you think it'll be all right?
There's no house big enough.
No, I know. And I'm very fond of dogs, especially little terriers. Only somehow I don't fancy mixing a cake in a bath they've been washed in.
It's had a good scour out.
Yes, but all the same.
Well, what it is beggars can't be choosers, Mrs. Caldwell. Now, where's your dry ingredients?
Yes, well, that's it, you see. I can't fathom Ina's recipe. All I can make out's treacle, and I've put that on to hot up.
Oh, yeah.
But even that I'm not right sure of.
Hey, there's fair enough there. How much did it say?
12 cupfuls.
No, that can't be right. You'll be giving us all trots at that rate. Where does it say, treacle?
There.
Anybody home?
Oh, hello, Miss Nugent.
Hello. I understand Mrs. Sharples has had to go over to her daughter's again.
Yes.
I wonder if you'd give a message to her if you see her tonight.
Yes, of course I will.
Well, will you tell her I've ascertained that she will be paid for the extra cleaning? You see, we're now charging £1 a head, and at that, Mr. Papagopoulos considers we should cover immediate expenses.
Oh, right, I'll tell her.
And you will remind her it's next Wednesday, 7 o'clock, prompt.
Hey, you know, Mrs. Caldwell, I think that 12's to do with the flour. Oh, hello, Miss Nugent. Happen you could help us.
Well, I'm always willing to try.
Well, it's not that Mrs. Sharples doesn't write big. The instructions is fine. But then she's bethought herself and wrote the ingredients at the bottom, and there wasn't really room.
Well, you see, it's a very big amount.
Oh, yes, she was telling me. Enough for everybody at the bonfire.
I had my own parking recipe at home. We could up and multiply that.
Nay, I think we'd best stick to what she's put.
Well, I think that's 3½ pounds of oatmeal.
Yes.
And that's cream of tartar.
Cinnamon.
Oh, cups of sugar.
What the heck's this lot?
Firewood from Coronation. Get it.
Oh, good lad, Petty. I'll give you a hand with it, eh?
Right,
Here, Manny.
all right, just about.
Hey, what happened to that toast rack I threw away this morning?
You know, should have a right good blaze when this lot gets going, shouldn't we?
Hey, cloth here. I ask you a question.
Aye, I know. Well, truth is, I had another think about it like, and it seemed a bit of a shame somehow. Well, you know, like work wasted.
Well, it'd hardly win a prize now, would it?
Oh, happened it was somebody's first try or something.
And consequently of no use whatever. That's me done till after dinner. Do you fancy a pint?
No, Todd, I've got my sandwiches in.
Hey, Jerry.
Aye?
If ever you want to talk things over with me, you've only got to holler, you know that, don't you?
Oh, Todd, I'll remember that. Hey, it's warm enough to eat out now that sun's got going. You fancy a pickled onion?
No time.
Oh.
There's not now then?
No. Why, should there be?
Well, I'm going by you see. I mean, first of all, there's all that wood disappearing, then you take pity on a little bit of junk. You're not thinking of starting up on your own by any chance, eh?
No, Mr. Fairclough. There's no like that.
Oh, good, I'm glad. Because you know what you said? All for the firm.
Well, I am. I mean, 'cause it's us, and I'll be the last one not to want it to work. No, look, Mr. Fairclough, it's not that I don't get on with you, and it's not that I'm not right grateful for you way you took me in business, especially after what I've done to you.
All right, so my halo's expanded. Now, where does that
No,
get
look,
us?
all I'm trying to say is that if it's going to work, we can't afford to be in each other's pockets all the time.
Who says we are?
Well, nobody. All I'm asking is that we leave it that way. Because as I see it, life's just not worth living. If a man can't stake his claim to a bit of time he can call his own now and again, that's all.
Now, let it drip off a second before you put it through the ringer. Right, that should be enough. Now, give it a little shake. There you are. Now it's ready for the ringer.
Oh, Mr. Harrison,
Yes, Wendy.
come here. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Oh, what a mess.
No, I'm done. Stop fiddling with it. It doesn't matter.
But it does, just because it doesn't matter to you.
Not because it's not my overall, because it's not important.
They'll think I'm careless.
You'll not get your merit bonus. Is that what's bugging you?
Look, I want to get on, even if you don't.
You know, my headmaster at school, he saw me as another name on the honours board. Even my own mother thought that I would go to university.
Did you?
No, pulled out.
Why? Because you thought there was all phonies?
Started it off.
No, what?
I cut loose. I could get up and go tomorrow without a backward glance.
What about your mother, though?
I don't live at home. Home's for involvement. Nope. A book of verse, a loaf of bread, and me and me padder with a tripe shop.
Oh, it must be smelly. I live over a pub.
Oh, you've cut loose too.
Yeah, well, my dad's in Ireland.
So it's like the first step in the right direction, anyway.
Yeah, you mean me, myself, and all that, like?
Of course. It's up to you. It's always up to you. There we are, ready for the oval.
Do you think you could spare me a moment, Stevens?
Thanks. Oh, Mavis, is there anything I can get this stain out
Oh, I
with?
don't know. Hey, Wendy, she's worried about this stain.
Well, if it doesn't come out in wash, at least we'll know it's a washing fest. Well, that doesn't help me. I think I'll take it home and have a go at it there. Can I?
Well, don't ask us, love. I should just take it. There's plenty more where that came from.
Give over worrying. Hey, is that Kenny been chatting you up again? Yeah, he's quite a fella, isn't he?
Yeah, and one you can keep for my money.
Do you think we ought to taste it?
Tell you the truth, I'm not in all that much of a hurry.
Got too many cooks, eh?
Well, I will say it's got the right look about it. But I keep remembering that saying about a camel being a horse designed by a committee.
Oh, I suppose we should have abandoned it altogether.
Nay, we said we'd make it, and that's what we've done. Well, here goes.
Now, keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah. Ooh. It's what you might call an acquired taste.
Oh. And now we'll never know if it was Ena's recipe or us.
Or what I scoured Bath out with. Still, it'll be dark on the night. Often they'll be that busy gawping they'll not notice.
That's right. I remember when I were a girl, we used to roast taties in the bonfire ashes.
Aye, brushing muck off and biting in them while they were that hot they burnt your tongue.
I wonder if they do that still.
Oh, I shouldn't think so. It all has to be done up in a plastic bag for 'em these days. Hey, the tricks that used to go on in our day. Our back door got set alight regular. It was a real old blaze sometimes. Here in the Laffies, I just learned t'other day, fire brigade don't charge.
Oh, no, I think you're wrong there, Mrs. Mitchell. I think they do.
They don't, you know. Well, it's Staff what joined Civil Defence of our street told me. And when I think of us running about with water in out we could lay us hands on, me old granddad staggering out with bread mug full to flopping over.
I haven't seen a bread mug for years.
Oh, and you know it wasn't Dory he were bothered about neither.
No?
No, all he were feared for were his tuber in coal place. Chance it lost its tune if it got too hot. My gran always made him practice out back, you see. She said she didn't care what noise did to neighbours so long as he didn't do it to her.
Oh, not more pig in boxes.
Jerry. Oh, hello, Mr. Tatlock.
They're pulling the shed down on the allotment and I've spoke for it.
All right, thanks very much. I'll get up there after.
Right.
Hey, what about the firm, mate? I think this box lark's getting out of hand.
Firm's taken care of, Mr. Fairclough.
How about the window frame, you done that?
All right, and Mark Cording, Liz.
What about the other female?
I mean, I've been on that emergency all day, you know.
Now, don't worry, Mr. Fairclough. I'll do it before I knock off.
I'm very glad to hear it. I do like to know what's going on now and again, you know.
Now, look, Mr. Fairclough, I wish you wouldn't take it like that. I was just trying to explain, that was all.
Yes, I know. People should keep themselves to themselves, I heard you.
Look, I didn't mean it in the way you seem to have taken it.
Hey, look, I'll be getting off then. lad.
Aye, all right.
Oh, by the way, did you hear the ambulance earlier on?
No, when with this?
Oh, about 5 o'clock, you say?
Oh, I'll be down at my accordingly then. You don't do much barring her in that house.
Aye, we're a little lad. They say his finger's been blown off with a firework.
Where with this?
Down Stanley Street.
Well, did you see it?
No, see it? No, I couldn't get near. There were more folk round than what there are flies on the fly paper.
Well, didn't anybody say anything about little lad? Like, well, what school he went to or out?
Well, I never listen. You know, they're terrible things, these fireworks, when they go off unexpected.
Yeah, I know, and there's usually more than one accident on Bonfire night, you know.
I was just saying it, corner shop, why do we have to have them?
Oh, they have them all over the world. It's a sort of a safety valve, like, to get repressions.
Why? Yes, Captain, you're right. I never thought of it that way
Look,
before.
Mr. Tatlock, didn't anybody say anything about him?
What about the lad?
Aye.
No.
Why don't you get down to the hospital if you want to waste a bit more time?
Look, I'm not wasting time. I'm just trying to find out. Look, didn't anybody say his name or out?
Why, well, I think they did know you
Look, come on, Mr. Tatlock, what was it?
Well, they said he belonged to a Sam Hopkins.
Oh. Oh, well, I don't know him then.
No, I don't know him personally, but I've heard about him. He's a big pigeon fancier. Won umpteen prizes. He must live down bottom end of Stanley Street because at top end, you know, they're not big enough to have a loft in the backyard.
You satisfied?
Aye. Thanks very much, Mr. Tatlock. I'll get off to Mark Tyler's then.
And you won't forget about the allotment, Jerry.
Oh, give over, it won't walk away.
I'm not so sure about that.
Ah, that's true. Stranger things have happened.
Can I come in, love?
Yeah, come in.
Oh. Hello, what have you done there? Hey, you're a bit big for tipping your dinner down your penny, aren't you?
It's a lab coat.
Oh.
I've spilt some dye when I was doing one of my tests.
Hey, you getting on all right at that place, are you, love?
Yeah, fine, thanks. I don't think it's going to come out.
Hey, I wouldn't worry much over that. Fancy name or not, it's only a penny when all's said and done. It's just to stop you getting your clothes mucked up. I dare say if you talk to them nicely, they'll put it in wash and give you a fresh one.
I suppose so.
Well, now you've got it here. What about popping it on and let me see what you look like in it, eh?
Shall I?
Ah, go on.
It looks better without the stain, though.
Hey, I think it makes it look all the more genuine. Do you know, love, I can just picture you with all them glass things, all the stuff bubbling, making gold out of straw.
That's alchemy. It's not scientific. They said so at school. Anyway, supposing gold's not everything.
Not, but it'll do as a substitute for most of us.
There's a bloke at the lab. He's not daft neither. He says that everything of true value is in yourself.
Oh, aye?
He says that ambitions are worthless. Just means that you get more possessions. He says it's a vicious circle because the more you have, the more you've got to have.
And what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, if I was different, sort of dressed dead old-fashioned at that, I'd feel out of it. But he doesn't seem to mind. And like I said, he's not a nutcase.
Well, I don't suppose he is. He's got his own ideas, same as most of us. It wouldn't do for us all to be alike, and it certainly wouldn't do for us all to think like him. I mean, if nobody bought out, there'd be nobody to pay us wages. It'd be a vicious circle t'other way round. Warehouses full of stuff, everybody laid off work and no money to buy it.
I never thought of it like that. Shall I ask him what he'd do then?
Oh, you do that, love. You show him you're not behind the door, neither.
Hey! What do you want?
Is Jerry here?
No, he's not.
You'll be Mr. Fairclough, won't you?
Well, it was last time I checked, yeah.
I didn't mean to bust it, you know, it just dropped like.
What are you on about?
Your plane?
My plane?
Yeah. Oh, just reaching across, I knocked your bag off and it broke.
Let's see.
Hello, Jerry.
Oh, hello, Alan. I found it, by the way.
You said you showed me how to do some joint for me box.
Oh, well, not just now, eh? I've got to pick some wood up from allotments and it's getting a bit late, like.
Yeah, well, I best be going then now.
Right, go on. Now, mind how you go. Look, if I want to teach him woodwork after hours, that's my business.
They do have classes, you know.
Oh, but one of 40-odd, and that's not the sort that pushes himself.
Oh, well, that's his fault, isn't it?
Happen?
He's got you for a right mug, Jerry Booth. You know that, don't you?
No, I don't know anything of the
He's
sort.
giving you a nice little run round the guest.
Look, he happens to be a nice kid and I'm doing him a favour, that's
Is that
all.
a fact?
Ah, well, his folks don't get home while late. He's no else to do when he knocks off from school.
Oh, so you're doing the big nursemaid bit now, are
I
you?
happen to be teaching him something useful, that's all.
That's a matter of opinion.
And you rode your out of pocket for what he broke, are you?
If I were you, mate, I'd just chuck all your money on that bonfire.
Well, I don't think that money's everything, see?
Don't you? What about keeping down here when you couldn't afford the bed that night?
Oh, is that what you want, then? Well, here. Come here. Take it out of that.
No, that's not what
Yeah, oh, it didn't sound like
I
it.
don't talk.
Here, you better have a bit more.
I
Look,
don't want your
take it,
flaming
but
money.
when-
Get
when
down.
I give up. Nobody calls me a cadger.